Here's a painful truth. Your perfectionism is slowly destroying your progress. Right now, there are projects sitting unfinished on your desk, goals you've abandoned halfway through, and opportunities you've missed because you were waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. But what if I told you that the most successful people I know have mastered something that might sound completely backwards? By the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how to use the good enough method to accomplish more in the next 30 days than you have in the past 6 months. Let me start with a story that might hit close to home. Sarah, a marketing manager and mom of 2, spent 3 months perfecting a presentation for her team. 3 months. She researched every detail, redesigned the slides 17 times, and practiced until she could recite it in her sleep. Meanwhile, her colleague Jake threw together a good enough presentation in 2 hours, presented it, got feedback, improved it, and had already implemented his ideas while Sarah was still tweaking fonts. Guess who got the promotion? This is the perfectionist trap, and if you're a busy professional or parent, it's costing you more than you realize. You're so focused on getting it perfect that you never actually get it done. Here's what most people don't understand. Good enough isn't about lowering your standards. It's about understanding something that perfectionism blinds you to, the power of iteration. Think about it this way. Let's say you want to get in shape. The perfectionist approach says, research the optimal workout program for 6 weeks, buy the perfect gear, wait until you have an hour and a half free every day, plan the perfect meal prep system. Meanwhile, the good enough person starts with 15-minute walks and adds an apple to their lunch. 6 months later, guess who's actually in better shape? The perfectionist is still researching. The good enough person has built a sustainable habit and is already seeing results. Here's the science behind why this works. Psychologists call it the progress principle. Every small win, every good enough action you complete, triggers a release of dopamine in your brain. That's your natural motivation chemical. But here's the kicker. You only get that dopamine hit when you actually finish something. Perfectionism blocks dopamine because you never finish anything. You're essentially starving your brain of the very chemical that drives motivation and momentum. Now, I'm not saying you should do sloppy work or abandon quality. I'm talking about strategic good enough. There's a difference. Strategic good enough means asking yourself, what's the minimum viable version of this that will give me useful feedback or move me forward? For that presentation, Sarah spent 3 months on. A good enough version would have been clear main points, basic slides, run it by 2 colleagues for feedback. Done. Presented, improved based on real-world response. For your fitness goals, good enough might be 10 push-ups every morning and a 15-minute walk. No perfect workout plan required. Just start moving. For that side business you've been planning for 2 years, good enough might be. Create a simple landing page and talk to 5 potential customers this week. Here's your actionable insight. I call it the 72-hour rule. Pick one project or goal that you've been perfectionist about. Right now. Got it? Good. Now ask yourself, what could I complete and put into the world within 72 hours that would be good enough to get me feedback or move me forward? Not perfect, not ideal, just good enough to be useful. Maybe it's sending that email you've been drafting for weeks. Maybe it's posting that article you've been almost ready to share. Maybe it's having that conversation you've been avoiding until you find the perfect words. Set a timer for 72 hours and commit to shipping that good enough version, no matter what. Here's what will happen. You'll get real-world feedback instead of imaginary feedback. You'll build momentum instead of staying stuck. And most importantly, you'll prove to yourself that done is better than perfect. Remember, you can always improve something that exists. You can't improve something that's stuck in your head waiting to be perfect. The most successful people aren't the ones who do everything perfectly. They're the ones who consistently ship good enough work, learn from it, and improve it over time. Your perfectionism isn't protecting your reputation, it's protecting your ego at the cost of your progress. So here's my challenge. What's one thing you can make good enough in the next 72 hours? Stop waiting for perfect. Perfect is the enemy of progress. Good enough is your secret weapon. Start the timer. Ship something. Thank me later.